Good morning and welcome to the PROBIOTIX Health PLC investor presentation. Throughout this recorded presentation, investors will be in listen-only mode. Questions are encouraged and can be submitted at any time via the Q&A tab situated on the right-hand corner of your screen. Simply type in your questions and press send. The company may not be in a position to answer every question it receives during the meeting itself. However, the company can review all questions submitted today and publish responses where it's appropriate to do so. Before we begin, I'd like to submit the following poll. And I'd now like to hand you over to Steen Andersen, CEO. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, and thank you very much for joining this morning's presentation on the 2024 results and a little bit of an outlook into 2025 as well. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Steen Andersen. I'm CEO of PROBIOTIX Health, and I've been working for the company since 2023. I'm a Danish national. I've been in the industry for 30 years, worked with several large international ingredient nutraceutical companies, and built businesses from startup structures to maturation. Mark, if you would be kind enough to maybe put a few words on yourself.
Certainly. Good morning. My name's Mark Collingbourne. I'm the CFO. I've been with PROBIOTIX since 2021 and helped with the launch of PROBIOTIX as a standalone company in March 2022. I've got 20 plus years experience in PLCs, life sciences, small companies of all shapes and sizes, and looking forward to going forward with it.
Very good. Great. Thank you, Mark. So before we get started with the presentation, just have a brief look at our forward-looking statement. So we have formalities in place. Today's presentation, as I said, will focus on the 2024 results and achievements, as well as we will be providing a look into the progress we made so far in 2025. We'll start out with a brief recap of the strategy for anyone who might not be familiar with PROBIOTIX Health. So if we start out with our overall purpose, this is linked to a very strong vision of using probiotic bacteria, what is known as healthy bacteria, as a way to provide consumers with a preventive product solution which supports long-term health improvements throughout the full lifespan. So basically, we are in the prevention category rather than in the cure category. Our core values, they are built around delivering safe, scientifically documented dietary supplements, which works when they are taken by consumers. Our motto is really consumers should be able to feel a difference when taking our products. We have a business approach which is narrow and deep, meaning that we focus in a narrow span of indication areas rather than going broad and generic like some other players in the probiotic field. Our business model is taking offset in our proprietary LPL-DL strain, which is a bacteria we have protected by 26 patents and scientifically documented by 5 clinical trials and more in the pipeline to come. Our focus is exclusively on cardiometabolic health and more specifically on our LPL-DL strain's ability to lower cholesterol and blood pressure when taken on a regular basis. Our business model provides customers with 2 product offerings. One offering is sales of the bulk strain ingredient to manufacturers of dietary supplements, and they will then use this ingredient in their own products. A typical sell-in cycle for a pure ingredient sale is 9 to 12 months, of course, depending on customer and where they are in their process of developing new products. The other offering is a full turnkey solution, primarily targeted brand owners. So it's a full turnkey private label solution where we provide our customers with the finished consumer product packed under their label. This model, the products will still contain our LPLDL, but this model has a selling cycle which is a little longer because of the longer manufacturing process to get to a full turnkey product. And typically, the selling cycle for finished turnkey products will be 18 to 24 months. The final customers are dietary supplement brands, regardless of whether we sell bulk ingredients or the finished turnkey products. The final customer of ours are brand owners, global brand owners, and on the right-hand side of the slide, you see just a selection. We're in USA, Seed, in Germany, in the UK with our Cobiome brand, in China, in Greece, and in many other countries. But basically, this is our business model. If I were to put a few words on the market potential, we're tapping into a really attractive market for cardiometabolic supplements, a market which is fast growing, which reached $20 billion at a consumer level in 2024 and is set out to grow to 31 million by 2029. As a business-to-business company, we tap into approximately 25% of that total value creation. The market we're operating in is driven by an increased health consciousness among consumers, combined with the demographic development of living longer. Over the past 30 years, average life expectancy has increased by more than 6 years. There's a mega consumer trend towards taking responsibility for own health and focusing on quality of life throughout the full lifespan. And as such, our product offering in the cardiometabolic health area fits well into that mega or consumer trend. Facts are that 20 million people die annually from cardiovascular disease, out of which 4 million deaths can be directly linked to high cholesterol, and that number is still on the rise. Luckily enough, a lot of the incidents could be up to 80% could be prevented through lifestyle changes, which includes diet change, exercise, and also includes the right supplementation of your diet with products like ours. So a unique opportunity that we are tapping into a fast-growing, attractive business area with relatively few players active in the space at this time. Our strategic focus is to keep a lean and agile organization as possible. And as such, we're focusing on the front end and the back end of the value chain. So we focus on strain development, clinically document these strains, do product development into finished format products, capsules, tablets, sticks, and then obviously we have a significant focus on commercial execution. We have taken the decision to outsource manufacturing activities to strategically selected contract manufacturing partners, as this will allow us and does allow us to tap into their existing expertise and avoid us binding capital in manufacturing setup. From a commercial execution perspective, we are applying a phased strategy with taking a step-by-step approach to different parts of the world with a focus on where the highest market potential and the highest potential for return on investment exists. So phase one is North America and Europe, where there is a perfect fit between the consumer needs and the consumer's desire for cardiometabolic health products and our value proposition. In the APAC region, we are taking a selective approach on China, Korea, Australia, and New Zealand, and have recently chosen to accelerate these activities to potentially mitigate any delays that could come from penetration of the US market caused by future trade barriers. Latin and South America holds an attractive potential, but is considered to be the most difficult region to enter at the moment because of complex regulation and also a less developed dietary supplement structure in that part of the world. If we move on to highlights for 24, in 24 we continued to drive towards reaching our 10-20 aspiration by the end of 2028, meaning 10 million in revenue and 20% in EBITDA. So 2024 focused on commercial execution with existing customers, line extension with existing customers. It focused on closing ongoing sales projects and continued to build the sales project pipeline. In parallel, we expanded geographically with focus on North America, where we established a commercial platform to penetrate the market. We completed the internal organization towards securing future scalability of our activities, and we took steps to optimize the supply chain, preparing for implementation of long-term profitability improvements as well. If we look at the execution of the strategy, we further executed on our strategy to become less dependent on fewer customers. Since 2023, we have grown our geographical presence from 7 to 14 countries, and in the same period, we have expanded our customer portfolio from 9 to 23 customers, providing robustness to the business and spreading the risk through less dependency on few customers. We are lucky that we have really good partnerships established with a number of fast-growing customers, while we at the same time are materializing our strategy to become less independent on these few customers and expand with a broader portfolio. Our customers, once they are onboarded, we are typically experiencing a high degree of loyalty with an extremely low churn. In 2024, we realized 0% churn. So once customers are onboarded, they are loyal and they are staying with us for the long term. On the organizational side, we concluded building the team, putting a strong sales structure into place covering Europe through Mr. Kasper Hoffensatz. North America, we employed a senior profile with really strong links into the industry, Murphy Young. And in the APAC region, we have Mr. Michael Litichevsky, who has many years of experience dealing with the region commercially. We also secured future scalability, commercial support, and execution agility within the internal value chain through engaging an experienced product management and marketing team, Mr. Niels Peter Bak and Mr. Kathleen Davis, both having many years of experience in the probiotic field. We strengthened the R&D team through onboarding Feresta Damet and Hiva Alipur as part-time employees with the company while they're still working as associated professors at the university they are engaged with. We established a strong supply chain function headed by Mr. Mads Brandt, who has 20 years of supply chain experience. Altogether, the team represents more than 150 years of experience in probiotics and microbiome. This concludes the structure of the team and sets us up for really further expansion and provides scalability to the activities we have implemented, and allows us to successfully onboard the new customers we have in the pipeline. We closed 5 commercial partnerships in Denmark, China, Greece, Ukraine, and Mexico, all with significant growth potential. 3 out of these 5 have already made their first repurchase, which is a strong sign of a successful introduction of their brands in the market. And the remaining 2 are to follow very shortly. We accomplished to expand our sales pipeline to more than 100 leads, and thus creating significantly increased robustness of opportunities feeding into our future sales growth. We opened more than 20 new active sales projects, increasing the total portfolio to more than 30. All projects with the potential of making a significant and sustainable contribution to our growth aspirations, keeping in mind that there is a selling cycle of, let's say, between 9 and 24 months. Mark, this is the time to hand over to you and let you go through the results from last year, if you would, please.
That's no problem. Thank you very much. Right, obviously, as you all know, we published our results this morning, and what we have is in our net sale, the sales for 2024 were at 1.8 million, which is up 13% on the previous year. Or 1.9 million rather. The sales before discount were over 2 million, which is, as it says in the slide, which is very commercially successful year. Also, which is very pleasing to see, is the gross margin continues at over 50% for the second year in a row. And when you look at the EBITDA loss, the EBITDA loss is slightly higher than it was at this time last year, but also we have approximately 116,000 pounds of non-recurring fees within that. So overall, it was a very successful year. If you want to...
Yeah.
And then what we've got is, as far as the balance sheet goes, we started off at 1.5 million at the end of last year, the end of December 2023. We have sales revenue, sales costs, admin costs, and obviously our one-off costs. And in the middle of the year, we raised money, some fixed assets, debtors, creditors, etc. And we end up with a very healthy balance at the end of December 24 of 1.6 million. It also said in the RNS this morning, it says we've had a solid start to 2025. Quarter one's on track. And we've also mentioned in the RNS this morning, we have new agreements with Chemin and Top Health in the first quarter, and sufficient cash through to profitability.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mark. Let's continue and look a little bit into the future and what has been accomplished already this year and what we are looking at accomplishing for the remainder of the year. Mark, you already alluded to the fact that we had a very strong start to the year with 50% year-on-year revenue growth in Q1. The Korean market has been opened through an exclusive partnership with Top Health, which I will get back to in a second. We signed early this year a material commercial agreement with Chemin in China. I will also get back to a little further details on that later on. Life Extension, a leading US online and brick and mortar brand, have just launched a product in the US market, which is expected to be also very successful. We anticipate minimum one more US product launch scheduled for later in 2025. We are on target to close 2-3 late-stage European sales projects in second half of this year. And as I already mentioned, we have accelerated our market penetration in the APAC region. We have a significant new clinical trial on LPLDL with 50 subjects scheduled for initiation later in 2025, which will further support the clinical documentation and the strength of our strain. We at VitaFoods, a huge fair, or the leading European fair for the industry, we launched a few weeks ago 2 new women's health cardiometabolic menopause products, which we already see a huge interest from customers on. We are scheduling or planning to launch 2 additional new products within the healthy aging category later in H2. So all in all, on track with a number of positive growth indicators that will support our long-term growth and us achieving our 2028 goals. I would like, as I said, just to spend the last 2 slides before the Q&A on giving a little bit more insight into the Kemin agreement and to the Top Health partnership. Kemin is a global ingredient company. It's US owned, has a $1 billion revenue, 3,000 employees, 15 manufacturing sites, and sales in 120 countries. We entered into a partnership agreement with Kemin China. This is in many ways it is an ideal partnership. Kemin is building a strategy to become positioned as a leading player within the probiotic space in China, and are looking for partners to provide them with scientifically documented strains that they can position with their customers. Longer term, there's a potential to expand the cooperation further into other countries if everything's successful in China. Kemin gets access to our clinically documented strain. We get access to the vast Chinese market through working with a leading ingredient provider who is already strongly positioned in the market. So the agreement has been concluded after 12 months of negotiations. It's a 7-year exclusive agreement. It's a sale of bulk strain in China, Hong Kong, and Macau. We retain all rights to sell the finished products into mainland China. We get access to a population of 4.1 billion, and it's a committed agreement with minimum volumes. And if we look at an index level, there is a potential for a 20 times revenue growth from this year and over the next 5 years. So it's really a huge and potentially very, very interesting partnership with a strong partner who has committed to invest to grow the business significantly in China. So we are really the board management is really pleased with being able to having entered this partnership agreement. The other commercial cooperation I would like to allude to is with Top Health in Korea. This is a privately owned marketing company which is focused on the health and nutrition supplement space in Korea. They have grown to become a market leader in probiotics over the last 7 years, and their business model is really to align with quality European product manufacturers and take their product into the high quality focused Korean market. They have an extremely strong position in e-commerce as well as brick and mortar, but e-commerce is really presents the attractive opportunity here in this collaboration. They commercialize on their own brand, private label, and also under third-party brands and sell the products to third-party brands. We are by the cooperation we have entered with the provider with the Top Health. We are gaining access to probably the world's fastest growing influencer market through Top Health cooperation with Korean-based leading pharmacist influencer company called PROBIOTIX, as well as their access to the fast-growing online portal iHerb. So we're tapping into a market of 52 million potential consumers, and this year relationship is forecasted or anticipated to deliver or potentially deliver around 20 times revenue growth for us over the next 5-year period in time. So basically, I think this concludes the official part of the presentation, and basically leads us to the Q&A session.
Steen, Mark,
Yeah.
if I may just jump back in then. Thank you very much for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please do continue to submit your questions just by using the Q&A tab situated on the right-hand corner of your screen. As you can see, we've received more questions throughout today's presentation. And can I please ask you to read out the questions and give responses where appropriate to do so, and I'll pick up from you at the end.
Yep. Okay, so we have a question. Do you intend to raise additional funds to reach profitability? Mark, would you be kind enough to take that one? I think you might already have answered it, but can you?
Yeah, certainly. Certainly in my presentation, I said we've got cash through to profitability. I would re-emphasize what we said on the 4th of September 2024 about cash through to profitability, and there is no change to that view from the board. So we have no plans to raise additional funds.
Thank you, Mark. Here's another question for you. Do you have any plans to get off Aquis market to somewhere more liquid?
Yeah, I think this is one that comes up fairly regularly. We don't have any plans at the moment, because obviously to move from Aquis to another market is very expensive and would take up a lot of management time. But the board do keep this under review, ongoing review.
Okay, thank you, Mark, for that answer. There's a third question, which I think goes for you as well. The board has provided long-term hoped for revenue and profit forecast through to 2028. But what are they forecasting in revenues, profit before tax, and earnings for the intervening years of 2025, 2026, and 2027?
At the moment, the board have obviously published the sort of 10-20 target for 2028, and we've got sort of staged approach over those years. But we haven't published. We don't tend to publish forecast 25, 26, 27. We're aiming for 2028 to hit that target.
Thank you. Then there's a question, when is management going to buy significant monetary value of shares as previous communications have implied? I can answer that. During 2024, we have been through a number of closed periods due to significant announcements of new partnerships, which has made it difficult for management to enter and buy shares. And this year we have so far been in a closed period until the release, with the release as well of the Kemin and the Top Health corporations, as well as with the annual report. But I think you will see that now, as we are out of the closed period, there will be a number of management members starting to buy shares in the company. So hopefully that answers that question. Let me see. Then there's a question: have there been any product launches that haven't been announced publicly via RNS? I think the short answer to that is no, there hasn't. Then there's a question: why have the quarterly updates stopped? I would say we are trying to keep the market informed on a regular basis, and as we promised last year, we have worked on improving communication with the market. So as such, there's no strategy or no on purpose stopping any communication. We will continue to provide information to the market when we have relevant information to share. Okay, I think that actually ends the list of questions that we have received.
Steen, Mark, thank you for answering all those questions you can from investors. And of course, the company can review all questions submitted today and will publish those responses on the Investor Meet Company platform. Just before redirecting investors to provide you with their feedback, which I know is particularly important to the company, Steen, could I please just ask you for a few closing comments?
Absolutely. I would like to thank all our investors for their commitment, their belief in probiotics health, our strategy, our ability to deliver return to investors. So thank you a lot for being committed and having faith and trust in us. We will continue to keep the market updated, and we will continue to share the positive progress, which we hopefully have been able to convey through the presentation today. So thank you very much.
Steen, Mark, thank you for updating investors today. Can I please ask investors not to close this session, as you'll now be automatically redirected to provide your feedback in order that the management team can better understand your views and expectations. This will only take a few moments to complete, and I'm sure will be greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the management team of PROBIOTIX Health PLC, we'd like to thank you for attending today's presentation, and good morning to you all.